What's going on, y'all? It's Vinny, aka the Gangster Vegan, the founder, creator of Gangster Vegan Organics, the best vegan restaurant on the planet. And I'm committed to improving and transforming the quality of life worldwide, one fruit and vegetable at a time. We out here in Norristown, Pennsylvania, my hometown. We are feeding the block, Gangster Vegan, feed the block. We're giving out free vegan meals. We're giving out free bags of produce. And we're just on a worldwide mission to feed people. We've been in Baltimore. We've been in downtown LA. We feed the homeless. We feed the children. Everybody could use some fruits and vegetables. Everybody could use the meal made with love, made with healthy, flavorful ingredients. We're making bags of people pulling up. We're in the middle of Main Street. We can come to your town. We can come to your community. We go where God's calling us to go to be of service and feed people. That is the mission. That is the ministry. We are about feeding people. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. All your contributions out there, whether it's just a like, whether it's a share, whether it's love, whether it's monetary contribution. We are so grateful and we are so thankful. And we love y'all, man. We want to keep this thing rolling. Gangster Vegan, feed the block. God feeds, man. God feeds. We are true testimonies, walking testimonies that you can do something great for your town, for your community, for your state, for your hood, for your block, for your world. And we love y'all. And we're so grateful and thankful. Peace.
All right, there we go. Vinny, back in effect. How you doing today?
I'm beautiful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Good. So I brought you on, of course, because I wanted to follow up on our discussion during your last appearance on Naijha Speaks. The another Gangster Vegan turns to Sprout. You remember that? You know, we was chilling out with Enzo from Sprout and having that conversation about your journey and his journey. And you talked about your Feed the Block initiative. And I had to bring you back on to find out how is it going? What's going on out there?
Oh man, we've been feeding the block. We've been doing what we said we're going to do. We've been feeding thousands and thousands of people, man. It's just man, it's a beautiful mission, man. I mean, it started as a vision, you know. Obviously, when you're in the restaurant, you know, you're obviously feeding people in a restaurant, but to get into the streets and, you know, build with people and see all different walks of life, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. We've been giving out bags of fresh organic produce. We've been giving out vegan taco bowls from Gangster Vegan.
Oh man, that's a treat.
Yeah, it is. And people have been donating from all over the world. I'm so grateful and thankful.
How many vegan meals, free vegan meals have you distributed so far in total? Do you know?
Yeah, I lost count, but yeah, I know it's thousands for sure. You know, pretty much each time we go out, we give out about 200, if not more, meals.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're definitely in the high thousands. I kind of lost count. You know, it's like we're not really counting. Maybe I should have started counting, but yeah, I know a lot. We've you know, we've been in Baltimore, we've been in Delaware, we've been in Philly, we've been in my hometown, Norristown, Pennsylvania. You know, we started in the top of the pandemic in Los Angeles, and I was in Los Angeles.
Oh, damn, how'd you okay, you went, how did that happen?
I went out to LA for the Natural Foods Expo.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
And
they still had it.
No, it got canceled.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
But they canceled it, like it was still up in the air, like they were still having it. So I booked my trip, and they canceled it like the day before. And so I was like, man, I'm out here in California. What am I going to do? So I hit up a bunch of companies because I knew they bring product, you know, to the show. So I hit up like Vegan Robs, Hippie, Follow Your Heart, and they just donated so much product. And I had a commissary kitchen out there, a vegan restaurant out there, let me use their commissary kitchen. They donated bread and a whole bunch of stuff. And so just pieced it together in one day and went out and gave out about, I think it was like 300 or 400 vegan sandwiches to the homeless in downtown LA, Skid Row.
Wow.
1,000 bags of Vegan Robs, about 800 bags of Hippies, and we gave out fresh fruit and water, and it was beautiful. And that kind of really just set off, you know, Feed the Block. I have been feeding children the past 8-9 years, Gangster Vegan started as a T-shirt. For every shirt we sell, we feed an inner city child
Right.
free high organic vegan meals. So we fed, I lost so much count how many children we fed, 50, 60, 70,000 children in the last 5 years. And we, we decided to just feed everybody now. So we started in LA, and I was like, man, when I came back home, I was like, it was such a beautiful thing. So many people came together, so many strangers came together. And I was like, wow, I want to continue to do this. Having the restaurants is one thing, but, giving out food, healthy, flavorful food at that, where I'm from is a food desert. They don't have access to any kind of food like this.
And where's that? Where you from?
It's Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's about 10 miles outside Philadelphia. It's a subsidiary. It's a suburban area. Very diverse area. But on our corners we have Crown Fried Chickens. We have liquor stores.
Right. Like Baltimore.
Yeah. And it's like you can get drugs easier than you can get an organic pineapple. So I figured until I find out a way to make it affordable, at least we'll make it accessible and free right now. So.
And if anyone doesn't know what type of food Vinnies is giving out, look at this stuff. What bowl is that? Or it's just
it's a simplified version of our taco bowl, Gangster Vegan. So there's rice underneath all that. It's rice, romaine lettuce, tomatoes, walnut taco meat, and
I love that walnut taco meat.
Yeah, it's so good. And then our nacho cheese we make out of sunflower seeds. So
okay.
Yeah.
And this is really that's the official raw food good. Do the people really understand what they're getting? So they're getting the food. Is anyone out there really telling them you're getting more than just free? Because a lot of there's organizations giving away food, but they're giving away what they're giving away. Yeah. But this. Do they realize the body of templeness that they're getting, the blessings?
Yeah, that's soul food, man. We were just in Baltimore last week. We fed 200 homeless people in Baltimore, and this one guy came out. He said, "Man, I don't know what you put in that, but he said my soul, his soul felt it,
I love it. I love it.
And when I was going through my transformation, I had hit rock bottom. So I was at a broken homeless point too, when a stranger had given me a fresh pressed juice, and it gave me life when I didn't have life, and so I kind of want to put that into the food, that experience. It's not about it's vegan, we're pushing vegan. It's just it's healthy, flavorful food, and it's made with love. I put love into it. Not anybody's just making this food,
right. And that's an important, I'm glad you said that, because that's very important. Folks open up restaurants, some of them open them up just to open up, they're making it, into a money thing. But then you get in there and you get in the kitchen. If that love isn't into the food, it just makes everything different. And I can tell you right now, in hiring cooks for the land of cook, Greg hasn't been in the kitchen in years. And it's always this thing about, hey, y'all got to cook with love, because, Greg ain't. Need to, if you ain't about it, then you don't even need to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes a world of a difference when you're cooking. You have to cook with love. Otherwise, the food is not going to come out right. So I'm so glad that you said that. For all you cooks out there that want to go out, make sure you cooking with love. Because, make your money. You got mouths to feed, you got to take care of yourself, but understand that you need to be putting your foot in the food and making sure that love is in there, because it definitely makes a difference. Any challenges that you're running into and pulling all of this together, what does it take? What is that logistical I'm not gonna call it a nightmare. It can be a nightmare sometimes, but because you look happy now, but I know behind the scenes it's okay,
it's a lot.
It's
a lot, because you're dealing with fresh foods and vegetables. So it's you can't make it 4 or 5 days ahead of time. You kind of gotta, plan for it, execute within a timely fashion. So, when you're making 200, 300 meals and you only have a window of a few hours to make it, you know, it can get, you know,
Yeah.
we're rushing a little bit. And but I've had good helpers. I have had good people come help. My wife, I mean, she like really holds me down. She kind of sets me up to win. Yeah, just I think space at this point. Probably need bigger space. I'm working on getting actual space just to, you know, do this, because you know, you don't want to interfere with the restaurant, and then and then doing it out the house is like, what, you know, boxes of produce everywhere, like,
Right.
you know. So I think just coming into a bigger space to house all this and do this on a bigger level if we're going to grow it. Yeah, just space wise and time wise, and you know, it's like the restaurant game, always running out of something, or
Right.
you know. But yeah, I mean, it's I'm learning like patience, and it's really no rush. You know, the people will get the food when the food is ready.
Oh, okay, right, because it's free. It's free. Are there any particular days and times? Because I know I've seen promotions on Mondays, and I think you've been out on Saturday. Are there particular set days and times that you do this, or you just kind of like?
I'm just kind of going with the flow. I was doing usually like Mondays and Saturdays or Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know it's all funded off of, you know, people donating. So I mean, I put some of my own money up, and then people donate as well. So
how do they do that? While we're on that discussion, how do they donate? Like, okay, so those of you out here that want to support a good initiative, because I know Plant Pusher and Nicola was out with the T-shirts, and there was money supposed to go to free vegan meals. How else can people get involved and support you with what you're doing?
Yeah, they can go on gangstervegan.com. All the info is on there. They can follow me on Instagram at Vinny Vegan, or at gangsterveganorganics.com.
Okay.
On social media, I have you know, the Cash App, the Venmo, or PayPal. But on gangstervegan.com, they could just click on the donate button.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's been going really well. I mean, people, I'm amazed that people all over the world have just been sending donations in, small, large, you know, and it's such a blessing. You know, $1 Million Vegan, they had donated some money.
Nice, because you know that was going to be my next question: to fund foundations and stuff like that, because this is such a great initiative. Are the foundations and organizations supporting you and getting you things that you need? Because this is such a huge undertaking, and you've been in Norristown, you've been in Baltimore, LA. Where else have you been?
Delaware. I think Philly, you know, Philly,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, all different parts of PA, Delaware, Baltimore, and Los Angeles right now. And we're looking, you know, to keep it mobile. If people are like, hey, come to my hood, come to my community, whatever, you know, we're down to take it on the road as well.
Awesome. That was going to be my next question. Yeah, thanks, Paige. Paige is, you know, part of Jane Unchained's producer team. Yeah, so they're pushing it too. And again, my apologies. I don't think I introduced myself when we first came on. I'm Naijha Brown. I co-own the Land of Kush in Baltimore, and executive director of the Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland. And I am a contributor of Jane Unchained News. We appreciate their support and the support of our sponsors, A Welfare World, Women Funders and Animal Rights, Eat the Change, and Veg Fund, because without these platforms, you know, we can't get the message out. And this is what I do. So this is very important. People need to support this initiative. And yes, how can others get involved in what you're doing? Can you share some best practices if other food establishments want to do this, or maybe doing something but may need a little bit more guidance? What would be some tips or suggestions? First, how can people get involved with you? And how can restaurants do this? Like particularly restaurants, because again, having a food establishment and trying to do this, I know it'd be a nightmare for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, one, they can get in contact with me through gangstervegan.com. People want to volunteer, that people want to, you know, send resources too, because sometimes resources are money as well. You know, I've had people donate to-go containers, people donate some rice and beans and things like that. So resources are good as well. I would say, you know, It is. It's almost like another restaurant on outside of a restaurant, you know. But I'm like, if we already have the blueprint. We're already making meals. You know, what's it to make another 100 meals, right? Or another 200 meals. And I simplified it, you know, because that bowl at our restaurant has 2 dressings. It has 5 more toppings, and
right.
I simplified it, you know, so I kept it simple. I did a simplified version, so it wouldn't be so many moving parts.
Right.
And I serve the same thing, so this way it's not confusing. We serve the same thing. People love it, you know. They're like, "What is in that? That thing is amazing." We have had, you know, some vegan restaurants who are like, realistically, we want to do that, but we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to donate a percentage of our weekly sales to you. Like I've had Green and Grains. They're in New Jersey. They have, I think, 7 locations.
Nice.
So they were like, you know, all of our, you know, 10 or 20% of our Friday sales from all locations, we're going to donate to Gangster Vegan Feed the Block.
Nice, nice.
I think there was might have been another. I can't think off the top of my head. I think there was another restaurant that had did the same thing. They donated like a day of their sales to Feed the Block because they were like, we would love to do that, but one, like we don't even know how to begin. We're running restaurants. Like where will we go? Some people don't want to go out in the streets. You know?
Right. It's all type of things. COVID, you know, first you're overwhelmed, number one, with the business, and then there's COVID, and then
you know, when we go, we went like Kensington, Philly. It's the heroin capital of the United States. You know, and it's like when you go down there, it's a whole another feeling. You know, like 1, people are homeless, and 2, they're shooting up dope right on the street. And the streets are so filthy, you know. It's similar to certain areas in Baltimore, and it's like, you know, I think it takes a certain type of person to go down there, you know. You know, you see a lot, you know, like last time we went, like they were chasing people around with knives and golf clubs, you know. They were in the middle fighting, you know, and we're like, all right, we need to pull up and serve, and you know, so there's a lot of different elements, you know, but it's not even just those areas. Like, you know, my community, like through COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people can't get produce, you know what I'm saying? They can't get food. So, you know, you don't have to be a broken homeless or on drugs, you know, to get this, because, you know, people are sick, you know, so it's like, if they can get a taste of something that they normally wouldn't get a taste of, you know, automatically that's planting a seed for transformation in their life.
This is amazing. I definitely salute you because you, I mean, from the Gangster Vegan brand. And again, can you just tell everyone how that came about to the how you're franchising this, you know, your establishment into moving into feeding blocks?
Yeah.
Amazing transition.
It's a trip. The quick version, you know, I'm 40 years old. In all my 20s, I started making T-shirts out of my house. It turned into $1 million T-shirt brand for rappers, ball players, celebrities. We're in every store worldwide, downtown locker room, sneaker villa, Finish Line. I was getting, you know, so much money. I never came from money. And I bought it, you know, I bought cars, $100,000. I was living that rapper's lifestyle, you know, diamonds and jewelry and minks and, you know, Range Rovers and Benzes and, you know, Puff Daddy parties. I would travel all over the world. I went on hip hop tours, and I did, you know.
You're representing the Instagram lifestyle, okay?
Yeah. Before Instagram, you know, there was no Instagram. You know, I don't have too much video and photos of it, but, you know, I was living
now what's going on now?
Yeah, I was living that dark lifestyle. I lost everything. I became broke and homeless at 30. A complete stranger gave me a fresh pressed organic juice, changed my life. I went through a profound awakening and transformation, led me to veganism, which I thought was corny, feminine, you know, kind of man doesn't eat meat. I went to my first vegan restaurant. I was blown away. I actually started working, humbled myself down, started working at a juice bar for $8 an hour.
I know that was rough. I can only imagine.
I mean, you know, going from making $2,000-$3,000 a day, you know, all for 10 years straight, you know, to nothing, and then $8 an hour. But I started working at the juice bar like I was the owner. People thought I was the owner, you know. So my motto was, and my motto is, especially to the youngsters, you know, work like you're the owner, and one day you will be the owner. So I was working at the juice bar like I was the owner. Was learning the plant-based lifestyle, getting fed while I was there. And I was just blown away by what it was doing to me. It was transforming my mind, body, soul, spirit. And I was like, I need to bring this back to my hometown. I came back to my hometown and I started selling juice out of a friend's house, and it took off. You know, it was like selling drugs. I had lines down the block. Neighbors thought I was selling drugs. You know, they were calling the cops on me, like, we don't know what he's doing over there. People were in and out of the house all day. It turned into a restaurant, and then another restaurant, then another restaurant. And now we're licensing out the brand, and we have a food truck now. And
yeah, I got the picture. You know, I look at this.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
that's the new food truck.
Yeah, all glory to God.
Okay, and are you distributing the food out of the truck? Or you? Because I just read an article yesterday about the food trucks being the thing now because of COVID. Yeah. You know, and all indoor, outdoors, you know, and all that stuff that's going on with the mandates. That food trucks are actually the thing right now, where people are buying food. So it's a beautiful truck.
Yes, we started giving meals out. I just got a few weeks ago. Just started giving out meals for now off of the truck. I'm looking to bring it like deep rooted in my community and making you know, affordable, flavorful meals, because you know, at the restaurants, you know, we sell $9-10 juices, and you know, people in my community, like, they can't afford $9-10 juices. You know,
they are really good.
Yeah, like the yoga moms and like certain people, you know, that have good jobs, like they can afford a $10 juice, they can afford a $12 bowl. But down the block, you know, it's like it's a stretch. So I'm looking to slim that down and make, you know, $5 bowls, $6 bowls, and have it rooted deeper in the community, in the hood, basically, you know, because like where Gangster Vegan is, it's kind of on the outskirt of the hood. So it's like you gotta come out the hood to go there, and on top of it, you gotta spend $10-12 on a juice, you know, and it's like $10. Like, even I was like that when I first became vegan, like $10. People don't understand the labor and the love that goes
right everything that goes into making the juice. And then you have glass bottles. You don't have the plastic bottles, which plays into all of that too.
But the hood don't care about that, you know. It's like the vegans care about it, and the earthling beings, they care about it. But you know, when you're talking about transforming lives in drug infested blocks where they're eating chips and sodas and things like that, that's where I want to really post up and say, hey, for $10 you can get a flavorful juice and a meal, you know. So that's what I'm working on with the food truck, and keeping it mobile, you know. I was like, I pulled it up to my old block where I used to be on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how did it, let's hear that story. How did people respond to
that? Was
Vinny?
A good feel. Yeah, that was a good feel. Like, I'm still in the hood with it. Like, you know, people, you know, they get confused sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I pull up on the corner where I used to be out there moving and shaking, you know, and some people are still there. They ain't never left, you know. They love it, you know. They love it. Yo, people call me vegan now. They used to call me Blanco, Vinny Blanco. They'd be like, vegan, hey, vegan, what you got, vegan? You know, and they support. So it's like, but they're not like, some will go to the store, but it's like, it's a stretch for them to go out of their environment, you know.
Right. Yes, I know. That's a whole nother mentality. I hear that in Baltimore. Some people don't go to the east or the west, and I don't really understand that, but you know, it's interesting.
It's very interesting. So it's like, all right, cool. We'll pull up right on the block, you know. It's like I wasn't afraid to, you know, sell other things while I was out there on the block. So it's like, I'm not like, why be afraid to try to go sell some pineapple juice? You know what I'm saying?
It's like, that's a blessing. It's a blessing. Definitely a blessing. Where will you be next giving away the free vegan food? Do you have any promotion out there, or where can we find you next?
I don't have a set schedule yet. I have a few dates though. I think on gangstervegan.com. I don't
Okay.
know that off the bat. But
Okay.
right now we've just been doing Norristown and downtown Baltimore,
Okay.
Northtown, Pennsylvania, and downtown Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes I do things that aren't even on the calendar. Like last Friday, we gave out. Somebody had hit me up and said we have excess produce. They donated 100 boxes of produce. We gave it out on Friday, and then we fed the block on Monday. So sometimes it's just sporadic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we try to do like maybe every other week. I'm taking a little time now to really get it more, you know, more structured. Because at first I was like, I just feed people. Like I didn't really think it would, you know, bloom and blossom into what it is now. So I'm looking to kind of structure it and have a little more organization to it, you know, to turn it into something. Like out here we have Phil Abundance, and Phil Abundance is huge. They're, you know, a multi-million-dollar, you know, corporation that just gives out produce, you know,
Wow.
to those in
Wow.
need. Yeah, so I'm
So
looking.
you just ventured into something else, and it's it's very inspiring. We're down to our last few minutes. Before we leave, what do you want to share with the viewers? Like, what is some very valuable information that you can share with us in all of this that you're doing that we can take away from this broadcast?
Okay. I could share with even in my past life and my transformed in the beginning of my transformed life, even open up the business. I was counting dollars. You know, it was like even though there was a passion business, I was still letting the money, like the money aspect, kind of take me like far left. And once I became like stop worrying about the money and being kind of selfless. You know, I would say I'm a selfless servant. And I started just giving things out. You know, that's when it really made a difference for me, because we can get so wrapped up in like the bills and the rent
Yes.
and the things and the
Yes.
things. I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for that, I gotta pay. But when you can go out and see a different world where people just like people are hurt and people are sick and people don't even have access to half of the things that we have, and we're still beating ourselves up about money and things like that. I would say like making that switch, you know, even if it's something small. It's like, you know, some days I make 10, 12 meals and just go pass them out to my neighbors, you know.
Nice.
Sometimes we don't even think about our neighbors, you know, we don't even check on them, you know, are they cool, you know, are they hurting, you know. So it's like, all right, a little meal here, a little meal there. But yeah, just I would say just do something for somebody else, man. And even, you know, because when I started feeding children in Compton, California, I was broke and homeless at the time. So it's like I was broke and homeless, but went and fed 100 children in Compton, California, you know, and I was like, wow, like, you know, it really made me look at things differently. So sometimes we think we got to have millions and billions of dollars before we go do something good for somebody else. When I get to this level, then I'll go back and do this. But we can do something small, and the more small as we do, it'll turn into something, you know, bigger and greater.
It makes me think about that part in Pursuit of Happiness in the actual story where he had the last $5 and I think his boss or someone asked for it, and you know he had to make that decision because you know he was homeless, he was going through his thing, but he gave it, and in return, you know, look at what happened. So yes, that is definitely some inspirational information that people can take back and really think about how they're doing their daily disciplines. So thank you for that. Vinny, I really appreciate you taking out the time today to talk about what's been going on with Feed the Block and how you're doing. Everyone, please like and subscribe to NaijhaSpeaks.com. This is what we're bringing to you. I have tons of interviews with inspiring vegans such as Vinny and all types of folks. Please like and subscribe, NaijhaSpeaks.com. And if you're looking for some fresh salad recipes, go to vsmd.org. That is the Black Veg Society of Maryland. And just opt in and you can download that free recipe booklet. And please, please, please make sure you are following Vinny and Gangster Vegan and showing your support because he's doing a great thing in the community. And for us restaurateurs, definitely we need to be designing some plans around doing something similar or connecting with him and giving back to the community. I appreciate you all. Mask on, Maryland. Mask on. Stay safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.